In this section, we're going to take a look at hosting your app on other servers other than StackMobs. Now, when you're doing development, you might be using a local server like WAMP, XAMPP, or MAMP. These are all MySQL, Apache, PHP bundles, but you might be running a local copy of Apache or IIS on your local server. And with this, you can set your own domain names. But in order to do this with StackMob, you also need to set up your CORS, which is cross-origin resource sharing, to allow it to connect to StackMob's backend. I'll show you what that looks like in the dashboard. So in previous lessons, we saw how we could start StackMob's Python server to serve up on localhost port 4567. But in this example, I want to actually run on a different port, and I want to run it on a different server, just a regular Apache server, and I want to see how can I do this with my app. So I'll go over here and I'm going to start my my MAMP server, which in this case I don't need MySQL, I just need the Apache part of my server, and this is going to be serving up on port number 8888. Now I'm going to go ahead and launch my app here. But this isn't going to actually communicate correctly with StackMob's backend, because we're going to get these cross-origin access denied. It's going to prevent us from making HTTP requests to StackMob. So in order to enable cross-origin resource sharing, we'll go to the StackMob dashboard, and under My Modules, we'll see a module that is titled CORS, which stands for, of course, cross-origin resource sharing. So I'll go ahead and click on Settings. And by default, every app gets the CORS module with the default local host set up to work with the StackMob server. But we'd like to add a new domain name, so I'm going to add localhost:8888. And I'm going to set this up for just my development API and then hit submit. So now that domain is now going to be allowed to access my API. This is for, of course, for security reasons. In order for this to work, I'm going to need to copy my index file from my hands-on directory over into the directory for my WAMP Apache server. So I'll jump over to Applications. I'll scroll on down to MAMP. I'll open up my htdocs folder, and I'm going to go ahead and paste that in there and replace that one. So now if I refresh, this is going to be pointing to my Backbone 2 app, and you'll see that it loads up with my Opus 1 wine. And if I go in there and change that and hit save, it's now just saved it, and I'm running on localhost 8888. And if I go back to my StackMob dashboard, I can go in and just make sure that the data got updated correctly here when I query it. And there we can see the name's been updated. Now you can see from this CORS module that you can add any domain name. So when you're ready to deploy, you can add www.mydomainname.com and set that up to access the production API that you're going to be deploying, and you can securely access your API from another web host. And that wraps up this section.